Good morning. 11:25 in Texas. 12:25 in New York. Yeah, another video. And as always, there's the reason why I record another video. And there could be many things that I mentioned today. For example, I let you know that yesterday I was invited to the police station. I could tell you about that. Then again today I met nice people. But still, the reason for today's video is a different one. And what I'm trying to do right now is like to put gotta watch my words somehow to put certain things away, ignore certain things, don't think about certain things when I record the video, and just focus on one thing only right now that I want to let you know about. Okay? Because it's kind of historic, not for hardly anybody when it comes to people who might randomly see my video on their YouTube feed, but to people that are close to me, to people that I know, to people who understand me, and especially for our family office. Because today is the first time since I founded Carrier Capital in 2017 that I sold stocks. Yeah. You might remember one of my earlier videos when I said, well, my overall strategy is what they call buy and hold, which means you buy stock and then you hold them. I wouldn't say forever, because forever is it's a heavy word. I say forever in different contexts, but not in the context of stocks, because and this is interesting. So yesterday, like I said, I was invited to the police station, and I came back home, and I have resumed my habit of watching movies in the evening. So I thought about, okay, what kind of movie can I watch today? And somehow I like Denzel Washington, the actor. He made many good movies, and I picked The Equalizer, the first part. Okay, and it's a fascinating movie. So another movie that he once did is called Deja Vu, which was directed by one of my favorite directors. So today, when I sold stocks for the first time on behalf of Carrier Capital Corporation. It was a deja vu somehow, because I can remember an earlier instant when we were still living in Frankfurt. And like, I started out with founding my own company. And then it was a different entity. It was a German entity back then in 2016. And I had some money in order to start going, and then money became tight, and I had stocks of the particular company that I sold stocks from today as well. So when money became tight in 2016, it almost broke my heart because I had to sell those stocks. And then now I'll let you know about what stock I'm talking about. It's America's oldest bank. And as I mentioned before, I used to work for America's oldest bank. And if you want to learn about it, if you want to learn about the history of our country, I recommend this book. Okay? Alexander Hamilton. If I remember correctly, he was the first Treasury Secretary, and he founded America's oldest bank. And this book is amazing. Let me quickly check it. So there's the index, and I'm not sure where it's a huge index. You can get ideas about what books to read next when you look at the index, because most of the time the authors they name their sources. So the last page is page 731. Okay, and I read this book in its entirety, the whole book, the whole 731 pages. So again, when I started out becoming an entrepreneur, I held stock of the bank as a private citizen, as a private person. And when I had founded my company, which again was a German entity in 2016, I took those stocks and transferred them to my company. And then again, money became tight. We were a family back then with 2 kids. So I sold not all of the stock that I held, but like the majority. And this kept me going back then. And then time passed by. We moved to Garmisch in 2017. Earlier that year, I founded Carrier Capital Corporation. And when I had money available, I rebought the stock of America's oldest bank. And I bought more stock than I had before, because I still loved the company, the bank. I was still convinced about the management, about the purposefulness. Is that a word? I don't know. So I bought it back, okay? And today, again, I sold a part of the stocks that I hold, and like I said, it it's emotional for me because I love the bank. I love the history that is attached to it. It's a big part of American history. Read the book, please. I recommend it. But, and right now, I don't know whom to thank because the stock had a nice development and somehow I was rewarded for holding on to the stock for over 7 years. So, shall I thank Alexander Hamilton? I'm not sure if he's seeing my video on YouTube, probably not. But I want to thank him anyway, and I want to thank my former bosses at the bank. They know who they are. Both of you. You crazies. And I want to thank my former colleagues. And no, I'm not going to tear up. And it was a time back then, like, I don't know, but that's the nice thing about life, at least what I can tell from my experiences. When you had hard times associated with an employment or whatever, and then years go by and you think back, then somehow miraculously only the good things remain. And this is the case right now when I think back to the time when I was working for this bank with my colleagues and my bosses. So again, thank you for everything that I learned back then. And I also want to thank the person who hired me. And we still keep in touch. He's one of the most decent personalities I ever met in any professional environment I was in. Thank you, sir. All right, so that's the good news. We keep going. I am now able, as soon as the stock, the how do you say that? Like, you buy stocks, then it's purchase, and then you sell stocks. What is that? I don't know. The trade. Let's call it the trade. As soon as the trade is settled, I will have the money to pay the health insurance company. And I want to thank them as well because they have been patient. And now I will be able to settle the debt. So I will have another issue solved. And yesterday, I was not only present at the police station, I also went to McDonald's. Because there was a time when I was banned at the restaurant. So I went in and I asked, okay, here's the thing. I was banned maybe 2 years ago. And I want to ask politely whether this ban is still active or whether there's any chance that you will welcome me back as a customer. So I talked to a person behind the counter, and I know him. He's a great guy. I know him from different stores in Garmisch. And he said, "Okay, I understand. Let me talk to the person responsible. Would you like to drink something? Wow, amazing." And I sat there, I waited for a few minutes, And then like I don't know what the rank is, if the franchise owner, or I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the term. Anyway, he came to see me, we shook hands, I explained the situation, and we resolved it, and the ban is lifted. So thank you, McDonald's. Okay, and I could talk about my conversation at the police station, but I won't. Because I want to keep this thing positive. I mentioned so many positive things right now. The fact that I am now able to settle another debt, the fact that my ban at McDonald's was lifted, the fact that I have nice memories. Yeah. And Charlie, I want to address you. I still love you. And I keep collecting pieces of the puzzle. And we will see how this will move forward. All right, Friday. I have a nice tune in mind from George Strait. I feel like celebrating. Again, if you want to wait, if you want to postpone celebrations, if you say, okay, I mean, there are a few good things that happened today, but I don't feel like celebrating because there are many unsolved issues. That is true. But god damn it. Call it a day. That's what I'm going to do today. I'll call it a day. It was a week with many good developments. So I'm going to watch a nice movie. I'm going to have a nice pizza. And then I'm looking forward to the weekend. And I hope you guys and girls have a great weekend as well. Enjoy life as much as you can. Because the next shitstorm is just around the corner. Hooah, hoo-yah, and God bless America.